Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time to case study 3. चलो देखते हैं क्या बोलती है case study 3. CA Love and CA Kush are close friends and are into practice as the sole proprietors. Both decided to expand their focus on taking up more assignments in the field of goods and service tax. On the back of the same, they both decided to conduct a joint training session for their clients on GST and decided to share the total fee collected thereof. They invited another CA from their professional circle to join the initiative. However, the person declines the same, informing that this act was against professional ethics and would lead to disciplinary actions from ICI. The partner of the MSSB and Associates is the close friend of CL Lau. The firm was involved in an audit of a listed company which was required to submit a BRSR reports. The company being audited was into thermal energy production businesses in India. They had submitted detail about the total emission from its production outlets during the year and detailed energy consumption plan which it had devised for the upcoming years. Since Love had undergone a course on sustainability reporting, he was approaches for getting advice on what need to be reported in the BRSR of the company. As a gesture for helping the firm, the partner of the firm suggested CL Love's name for the post of becoming a member of the board of the management of KYC Cooperative Bank, a primary urban cooperative bank and a client of ASB and Associates. Upon hearing the same, CA Kush request Love not to take up the post as it would lead to professional misconduct. CA Love was acting as an internal auditor of ANN Technologies Private Limited. The company decided to raise more funds for expanding its businesses across the country by including new age technological services such as AI. Love was observing the business model and the way in which the company was operating for quite some time, and he was keen on investing in the company. As a result, he decided to invest in the company's share and ended up acquiring 9.75% of the shares. Total face value of the shares acquired was 4.75 lakhs of the company during the financial year. CA Kuch got to know about this information and he immediately urged Lau to resign from being the internal auditor of the NN Technology Private Limited for the reason that an internal auditor cannot hold any shares in the company and it will lead to professional misconduct and also failure to comply with the provision of the Companies Act 2013. However, Love did not accept the argument of Kush and he said that nothing would happen because of him acquiring 9.75% shares in the company and continuing to act as its internal auditor. CA Kush was the statutory auditor for the BD Finance Private Limited, NBFC headquarters in India. The company's treasury department had undergone changes in the recent past and the current set of them member did not have much experience in handling the treasury functions. Due to this situation, the company reached out to their auditor CA Kush, who was also in the equity research advisor apart from CA practices, to support the company and the member of its treasury department for a brief period by giving investment advisory services to ensure efficient utilization and management of the funds of the company. Before committing anything on the offer, CA Kush wanted to consult with CA Lau as to whether the service requested by the NBFC can be performed by him. Okay, now time to case studies. First, whether the act of the conducting joint training sessions on the GST by CL Lau and Kush and sharing of the fees collected leads to professional misconduct as per the Chartered Accountant Act 1949. Yes, but no. Ethical Standard Board has recently allowed joint training sessions on GST is allowed and fees sharing is also allowed. So yes, no. As per the recent decision of the Ethical Standard Board, it is permissible for the 2 or more CAs in practice collectively to have a joint training sessions for their client on GST and share the fees collected from the clients thereof. तो ये allowed है. तो वो प्रोफेशनल मिसकंडक्ट नहीं माना जाएगा। With regarding to the BRSR reporting on the data of a total emission, the future energy consumption, यहाँ पे दो चीज़ें हैं, total emission and the future energy consumption plans of the company. How do you treat them? The detail of the emission form part of the essential indicator and need to be mandatorily disclosed. However, the plan for the future energy consumption is only leadership indicator, essential indicator. This point I think is correct. बाकी भी पढ़ लेते हैं. Both the details of the emission and future energy consumption plans from part of the essential indicator and need to be mandatorily disclosed in the BRSR. The detail of the emission are leadership indicator and is considering as an optional disclosure, whereas the plan for a future energy consumption is essential indicator and need to be mandatorily disclosed in BRSR. नहीं, ये essential indicator तो नहीं हो सकता. और ये both the details of the emission and future energy consumption plans बोथ तो एक जैसे है भी नहीं, इंडिकेटर्स लीडरशिप इंडिकेटर भी नहीं है, और ये बोथ इसेंशियल इंडिकेटर्स ये भी नहीं है, तो यही ऑप्शन हमारा सही रहेगा. द डिटेल ऑफ द इमिशन फ्रॉम पार्ट ऑफ द essential indicator and the need to be mandatorily disclosed. However, the plan for future energy consumption is only the leadership indicator and consider it is optional disclosure. ठीक है, चलो question number 3. The futuristic plans which the company has for its energy consumption can be categorized under which principle of the national guidelines on the responsibility business conduct? Principle on ethics, transparency and accountability. Not energy consumption plan is not ethics, transparency, accountability. Protection and restoration of the environment. Yes, this is the correct. Protection and environmental security. Energy consumption is energy is related to the environment. स्टेक होल्डर इंटरेस्ट नहीं हो सकता, इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ द पब्लिक एंड रेगुलेटरी पॉलिसी भी नहीं हो सकता. दैट इज द ऑप्शन बी. ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट. चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. बाय एक्सेप्टिंग द ऑफर टू बिकम अ मेंबर ऑफ द बोर्ड ऑफ द मैनेजमेंट ऑफ अ KYC कोऑपरेटिव बैंक, डू यू थिंक दैट CLO वुड बी हेल्ड गिल्टी ऑफ प्रोफेशनल मिसकंडक्ट? This is also the standard ethical board decision that any urban cooperative banks board the member can be opt. So देखते हैं. yes तो नहीं होगा. It is permissible for the CA practice to become member of the board of the management in primary rural cooperative banks and CLO would be held guilty. नहीं, ये नहीं हो सकता. held guilty तो नहीं हो सकता. It is permissible to CA practice become a member of the board of the management in primary urban cooperative banks and CLO would not be held guilty of the professional misconduct if he accept the offer. तो ऑप्शन हमारा यही रहेगा सी, क्योंकि यहाँ पे भी ऐसे 4 का चलिए चेक भी कर लेते हैं. It is permissible for a practice to become a member of the board of the management of the primary urban cooperative bank and CA would not be held guilty of the professional misconduct he accept offer. As per the recent decision of the ethical standard board, it is permissible for the practicing chartered accountant holding the certificate of the practice to become a member of the board of the management in primary urban cooperative banks. This is a keyword, primary urban cooperative bank. चलिए, now we move to the next question. In the given case, it is mentioned that CA Kush is a practicing CA and he is also engaged as an equity research advisor. Do you think that CA Kush will be held guilty of the professional misconduct as per the provision of the Chartered Accountant Act? No, CA. Option A, no. A CA in practice may be equity research advisor, but he cannot publish a retail report. This is keyword. So if as it would amount to another business or the occupation, thus its CA coach doesn't publish any reports, he will not be held guilty of a professional misconduct. Option A is correct. As per the clause नहीं, guilty तो नहीं होगा. Cannot be equity research advisor तो हो सकता है, बस वो retail report नहीं शुगर है. Yes, as per CA clause 11 of the first schedule read with the part 3 of the second schedule, CLO would be held guilty of a professional misconduct for engaging in another profession occupation with the permission of ICAI. नहीं हो सकता. Option A. 5. Option A. No, a CA in practice may be an equity research advisor, but he cannot publish a retail report as it would amount to other business or the occupation. Thus, the CA coach doesn't publish any reports. He will not be held guilty of a professional misconduct. As per the recent decision of the ethical standard board, chartered accountant in practice may be an equity research advisor, but he cannot publish the retail report as it would amount to other business or the occupation. That is the reason. And हमारी केस स्टडी 3 भी इस तरह से कंप्लीट होती है. थैंक यू लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन.